Did you change his name from Lion Syrup, from Truth Syrup to Lion Syrup? He's picking up username there.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to The Trenches, live and uncensored. We figured you guys deserve to see the real thing, see what everybody's going through, see the reactions as they happen. So we are coming to you live this week for week 3. Another game breaker, tossing players off of rosters. You're not going to believe what happens when you see which players get tossed and how it goes. So without further ado, welcome to The Trenches, and here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Trenches, the most insane fantasy football competition you have ever seen. This is not your regular league. We didn't just draft players and set our lineups. In fact, after week 1, everybody lost most of their draft picks anyway. So here we sit in week 3. Chaos has just completely rattled the entire league, and it's not going to stop today. Let's see what's going on. Alex, we talked about this. We put up a video today. Your whole team could probably go in the first 5 rounds. You've got 3 first-round draft picks. I think all 3 of them are up for getting booted off your team tonight. So you're going to lose somebody, but you're still going to be left with 2 first-round draft picks, and yet you're 0-2 at this point. We'll see how this week plays out.
Yep, that's right. Just got to roll with it.
How are you feeling about, you've got this super strong team, and you can't seem to come out with a win?
Like we were talking yesterday, if your foundation on your team is not good with solid running backs, and you don't have ceiling receivers, they boom or bust. When you get bust on your receivers and your foundation in there with 2 good running backs, you're going to have a loss.
Yeah, we're going to see exactly what happened this week as a result of the game breakers before, but just how it's all playing out now as well. Talk about what happened last week. Let's let everybody see exactly what happened. This week, top score goes to Gladys and Nikki. You see the board. You see the choices. Where are we going this week? Get used to it. Are we getting used to disappointment? Are we getting used to something good? Let's find out. If any player underperforms this week, your opponent can send them and their score packing. So we're going to look at the players. If your player was supposed to score 20 points and they only came up with 19.5, your opponent can choose to take that player, kick them back to the pool. So hopefully all your players meet expectations, because the ones that don't are in danger of going out. Yeah, Yeah, pretty insane. Thanks to Gladys and Nikki's a part of the
Thank you.
team, even though she wasn't able to be here last week. So we'll blame
What
her
the
a
hell
little
does
bit.
that mean?
You get a little bit of the blame too. That's what that means. You screwed because
fair.
your team screwed everybody over to lose more players, but at least you're roped into it.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to lose somebody too. So, I mean, let's just get into it. All right, so let's do the first matchup. Let's get to Nick and the Founding Fathers. Founding Fathers having a little trouble. Nick doing all right. We see the scores. Founding Fathers coming in big this week. But as the GameBreaker says, if a player underperformed, then away they go. So this week, that's going to put some pretty good players on the block. I mean, we see Garoppolo is eligible to get taken out. JT's eligible to hit the wire. Hendo, not too many players. Your team obviously performed very well, but one of these three has to go. Before I ask Nick which one's going, Chris and Eric, do you have an idea where he's going to go?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
Where do you think he's going to go? Now,
I think he's going to go
home, real quick for the people at home. I'm sorry to interrupt. This is my fault. The decisions have already been made. So each team does not know what the other team picked for them. They don't know who they're about to lose, but I do. And so does the person who picked it. So you guys do not know, but Nick obviously knows. You were saying.
Well, he's been trying to get that Broncos defense off us for a while, so that would have been my first guess, but they performed well.
Yeah.
So if I was a betting man, and I am, I would say it's the 101 Jonathan Taylor, running back, Indianapolis Colts, which is 100% my fault. I was so worried about going 0-3 to get chopped.
God damn it.
And Chris is like, dude, if he doesn't get X amount of points, I'm like, it's the Chiefs. They have to score to catch up. And I had just... on the Football Super Podcast, tune in every Saturday, I had just said how the Chiefs were going to steamroll the Colts. And, once it's a 2-score game, JT's not a factor. And then I turn around and say to my friend, we got to start JT.
I haven't seen
And I wanted to start Jamal Williams.
A long time, man, when you said JT. She was like,
so, just to end the suspense, Nick, who did you decide to take off the team?
Well, I did go with Jonathan Taylor.
Obviously, yes. I think that was an
Oh,
easy
thank God.
We adjust the score, and Founding Fathers drops down to 129.30. Really not in much danger of losing this match, but they did lose JT for this week. Nick, again, some pretty significant availability here to lose. Mariota is coming up. I think people are really kind of starting to watch him now. Of course, CMC, Wilson is safe, but Rob, kind of a disappointment. He's up. Freiermuth, Akers, McManus. Who do you think they're going with? I mean, I think you have some definite options here.
I think it's going to be pound for pound, and he's going to go with McCaffrey.
They are running back guys. Chris and Eric, who did you decide to knock off?
That is who we decided to knock off because we figured mutually assured destruction. Now, I considered making a back channel request to gentleman's agreement not nuke each other.
Talking about, I made that gentleman's request and it was never answered.
Okay. So apparently both sides are more than happy to throw JT and CMC to the Wolves. What's interesting here is what you don't see available. So a lot of strategy here. Nick did not play Lamar Jackson. He did not play Singletary, did not play Cooper. The boys at Founding Fathers did not play Allen, nor did they play Kamara, Connor, or Williams, being big running back guys like they are. So it's interesting that you put JT out there when you strategically sat.
It was like 18 points. He's fucking Jonathan Taylor.
Just no chance of him underperforming, even though he did it last week.
To those
Christian
breaking out their
McCaffrey,
fab,
but
he
nope.
does have a lot of orange and red in his future. So I don't know.
We will
Something's off with
see
that team.
how the fab money plays out after this week. Let's see how the other teams came down. So we got Adam. Adam got decimated by the week 1 GameBreaker, trying to make a comeback. Monday Night Miracle comes in his favor as CeeDee Lamb and the Cowboys defense show up. You were pretty far behind last night, Adam. He's pretty far behind right now. Nikki and Gladys, did you guys think you had it pretty wrapped up going into Monday night?
We weren't really worried about the points. We were just worried about keeping our studs, basically. We'll give him this 1 week. So, no. I didn't think I had it wrapped up at all.
How about you, Nikki?
Defer to Gladys on this one since I have not been here in 2 weeks.
Let's see what it looked like. Let's see if the wins column stays the same. Again, Jared Goff available, Montgomery available, Landry available, and McPherson available to go. You guys also went strategic. Left Mahomes and Tua on the bench, left Kupp, left St. Brown on the bench, who's having a season, and left your Giants running back, who I also have on multiple teams, Nikki, left them strategically on the bench. A couple of them did underperform. You guys think you made the right decision here, looking now that you might take the L on this one?
I probably should have listened to Nikki. The only one that didn't underperform was Saquon, so she wanted to play him, and I was really scared not to play him, so I kept him on the bench, but everyone else underperformed, so yeah, I should have probably listened to Nikki and put Saquon in, but I don't know if we would have won even with Saquon's points after he takes one of our guys away, so.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight is 2020. Adam, are you back to tell us who you chose to knock off this team?
I am back.
All right. Who are the ladies looking to try and reacquire on waivers this evening?
Honestly, I went with Jared Goff, mainly from my own perspective. This is a tight matchup. I haven't won a game yet. He was their highest scoring player who underperformed. I want to give myself as much cushion as possible because I don't know if there's a second game breaker coming that's going to affect these scores again.
Now that you're back, I want to ask you how you felt going. You were pretty far behind. The ladies have already said that they really weren't worried about losing this one, but CeeDee Lamb and Cowboys defense show up for you. Did you finish watching this one? Were you like sitting there staring at the score the whole time?
Oh, I mean, I was watching. I was actually at the game last night, too. And, I mean, we talked on your Twitter space about I basically already gave myself a loss, and I was calling myself 0-3 and that these game breakers have destroyed me. I said I was in last place by a mile, but I got my Monday Night Miracle.
Yeah, if you have a player that underperformed at 27, then you could be in trouble. I don't think that you do. You do have Justin Fields available to get knocked out. Looks like Carter. Looks like Deebo Samuel and your kicker Bass. Not really a chance of losing here score-wise. You're going to finally get that win in the win column, but you're going to lose someone off your roster. Gladys and Nikki, who's it going to be?
Deebo.
Really not a lot of question, I think, on this one. Either Deebo goes, the score drops to 112, making it a little closer game. But the big loss for you, Adam, is Deebo. Would you rather have the win, or would you rather have kept Deebo?
At this point, I need the win. I didn't want to go 0-3. I'd like to keep Deebo also, but to me, a win this week is more important. So I played everybody. I didn't bench any of my starters.
And it worked out for you, so congratulations on that win. There's the final scores. Who we got next? Oh, Sir Frosty and Nat. This was a good match. I really liked watching this one. Very close. We see how close it is right now. 93.7, 82.9. Nat, I know you thought you probably had this one right up until the end. how are you feeling being on the losing? Are you surprised, or did you figure it out?
Oh no, I don't care about this week. I sat everyone on the bench.
You did.
I didn't care. I was 2-0, so I could afford to lose. So I was just like, it is what it is. The Giants disappointed me with the defense, but I thought they would be able to, get Cooper Rush. But I was like, apparently they were treating him like he was Tom Brady in his heyday. So I was like, whatever. But I'm not upset at all.
Well, like you said, you did strategically sit. So you'll keep Mixon, you'll keep Aaron Jones, you'll keep Michael Thomas, you'll keep Kittle, who's back on the field. But you've got some options here that you're going to lose. It was an interesting choice that you made here, Austin. Tell us who you chose and tell us why.
To drop from her team?
Yes.
Just because of some things I did, I wasn't too worried about losing. And I could have went Carson Wentz, but I actually wanted to take Brandon Cooks off her team and drop another player into the waiver pool and see what happens.
There you go. Brandon Cooks, a good team with this roster to drops her down to 78.5. Like you said, not really worried about the loss here. Let's see your roster. You've kind of got some big players looking to drop down. You got Stafford, you got Williams. It looks like Miller, who you've already dropped. Couple choices here, Nat. What are you thinking about?
Who did I drop?
Yeah.
Javonte Williams.
Yeah. Got to drop that running back. That running back's going up in the pool. But Austin mentioned
3 RBs in the pool, man.
Something that he did. Austin doubled up this week. He uses the double up option, used it on Matt Stafford. Big points. He was going to win this one pretty likely anyway. So good for you, Austin. We'll make that thing work. Boom. After you drop your player, but with the double ups, ends up at 101.6. Good move, Austin. Were you worried about losing this week at any point, knowing that you had the double up running?
I felt pretty confident. I really didn't want to lose a lot of my starters. You guys can have Javonte Williams and his and that Broncos team, whatever they're doing over there. So I just felt like Matt Stafford was a little cushion, and I thought that based on the players she was going to play, I thought I had the better team with my backups.
Yeah, and you strategically sat Fournette, you sat Williams, you sat Cook. And you sat Andrews. Andrews had almost 40 points. If you had lost this one, how bad would that have hurt?
That would have hurt pretty bad. But I was willing to risk the loss to keep my players and play the long game.
Yeah, it was a gamble, but it paid off. And you walk away with the win. Nat not worried about it. She said she'll take the L.
Let's go, team! Let's go!
Our next one, we got the duo of Mr. Right and Mrs. Always Right against David Skull. Real close here, 1.65 to 0.20 on the end numbers. David, are you worried? Are you hoping that you're going to come out on this one after the drops?
It'd be nice.
I mean, it's really close. Do you think you have a chance?
I don't.
No optimism? Andrew and Kate, are you guys worried about dropping this one being this close?
No, not at all.
Not at all, they say.
No, they've done the math.
Well, what's that? Is a little math going on.
Just a little bit.
There's David's roster. Shepard Diggs is on the block. Once again, these game breakers have kind of tunneled you in. So after the first game breaker, I think you lost like one person off your roster when everybody else was losing like 5 and 6. But you lost all the trades. You got screwed on all the trades. And now this game breaker comes up and you only have 2 people that are available, but one of them Stephon Diggs. How are you feeling about these game breakers right now, bud?
I'm still pretty confident. My team performs really well. I mean, I've got the highest score overall, points for. I also have the highest points against.
I think what's crazy here is that Ertz is by 0.45, Carlson by 0.14. It was really close. Who did you guys end up dropping, Andrew and Kate?
So we decided to go a little strategic this week, understanding that if these big players get dropped from a team, they go into the waiver wire. There's a good chance we may not get them, and I don't want to face these big players again. So if they stay on his team, I know I'm not playing them again until the playoffs, or after week 11. So we came to the conclusion we are dropping Carlson off of his team.
There you go. It's a fantastic strategy. I was wondering if anybody was going to pick it up. So you only dropped the 10 points, 150.20. David, just go ahead and tell us who you dropped off their team.
I went with Hopkins.
Even though Adams is out there, you guys had kind of talked about this beforehand, right?
There may or may not have been a gentleman/ladies agreement with this one.
It was immediate. I don't want to have to face Devontae Adams.
And I don't want Diggs.
Any of my old players. I mean, it could be next week. It's a smart decision. I didn't see anything saying there wasn't any gentleman's agreement.
A lot of people tried it. Founding Fathers and Nick said both voiced that they had wanted to do it. They just couldn't get the deal done. Now, knowing that they got the deal done, how are you feeling about it now, Founding Father?
I didn't know that Nick reached out, to be honest with you.
I didn't
gotta check those DMs.
That sounds to me like you're blaming Eric.
Well, no, we can both see the DMs.
I'm blaming Eric.
I wanted to drop our quarterbacks that we both picked up and then start our normal quarterbacks.
Because you guys just picked up guys for this week. You guys kept your starters on the bench, but instead you guys both lose significant running backs, who you may have to face later, as we just talked about. There's the adjustment afterwards. All right, Alex and Jason, another close game. This one could definitely swing either way after this game breaker. Alex, well, I'm going to go to Jason. Jason, are you worried about coming out on the wrong end, being this close after the drops?
I did all the math in my head, and I think statistically I'm good in this particular matchup. So I'm good. I'm not gonna. I was actually thinking about going Brady on him because I knew it wouldn't hurt him that much by losing Brady, and it would have lost a lot of points for him. But decided to go in a little different direction. Just
before you say where you went, Jason. Before you say where you went,
sure.
I want to talk to Alex. Alex, we talked about how strong your team is. You've got Najee Harris, Chase, Jefferson, all first-round draft picks. Again, with the other guys, with the exception of maybe Hines, and of course, your kicker and your defense. These guys are you've got a strong team. You've got high draft picks. Still haven't been able to come out with the win. We'll see how this turns out. The thing that struck me, and obviously I watched this game being a Pittsburgh fan, is Najee Harris is now not safe because of basically the last play of the game. They try to do a little trickery. Najee drops the ball, and now Najee's 0.47 points in the red. How did I know you were watching it? What were you thinking?
Well, it's one of those things. Every now and then you'll get these good running backs. They'll have one or two fumbles a year, and it's always at the most important time when you need them to succeed.
Right at the end, he was safe. You would even put out in the room, Najee is safe, I'm good, and then the last play. Jason, who did you elect to take off Alex's hands for him?
Yeah, I didn't want to do him dirty. I didn't take I figured, you know what? He just picked up Jamar Chase because of the last game breaker. So, you know what? That's who I kicked off his team because I felt it wasn't that big of a loss for him since he just picked him up recently. So no big loss for him. I'm a nice guy.
How do you feel about it, Alex? Do you think it's a big loss?
It's a boom or bust receiver. He's a league winner, not a week winner.
There you go. That's how he feels about it. Seems to be okay.
Justin Jefferson in
would
the
anybody
flex. I
else
like your style.
say that again, Eric?
Justin Jefferson in the flex. I like his style.
Yeah, that was a good
Dude, had
setup too.
horses, bro. He had
thought so,
horses.
too.
It's just not,
Put it down there. You might forget about it.
All right, so Jason, we bring up your roster. You actually have quite a few people that could get kicked. A lot of people underperforming this week. Kind of the thing that happened across the league. The fun thing here, Garrett Wilson by 0.01, not by 0.1, by 0.01. Garrett Wilson is not safe. A lot of other players on there, Gibson, Hill, Dotson, Elliott. Is there anybody that you're kind of worried about losing? Like, I hope I don't lose this guy.
Listen, obviously, since I pull for America's team, the Miami Dolphins, I'm worried about losing Hill. But that's about it. Because you know what? It's been a fun adventure so far, and obviously there's going to be a lot of guys to pick up this week. So,
Kirk Cousins is on the block. Jeez Louise. I mean, you got quite the thing going on. Alex, who are you looking at to drop from this team?
Well, I want to say first, I respect your pick of Tyreek Hill. Been a Tyreek Hill fan since he played with the Chiefs, so I don't want to take your guy from you, knowing you're a big Dolphins fan.
Thank you.
Wanted to go ahead and leave that so you're interested in your team.
Why are you
So I
playing
kicked out
nice?
Kirk Cousins.
I don't understand. Playing nice? Like, what the
Yeah.
hell is this? This is not the trenches,
So-
and you're just going to play nice and make backdoor deals. It's ridiculous.
As the guy who lost
You'll
Jonathan
understand,
Taylor, I
nice.
agree wholeheartedly, Nikki.
What, like, honestly, what are you guys doing?
What is
ridiculous.
So, hey, listen, it's
Gotta
all
do it.
about strategy. I'm pulling the nice guy strategy right now. That's how we do it.
Let's talk about strategy.
I've never
real
heard of
quick.
diplomacy in trenches.
Alex wanting to kick off Kirk Cousins, but what Alex doesn't know virtue of the double up, he adds another 26.9. Cousins generates for himself another 26.9, so he is actually safe. He is not able to be eliminated from this. Had you been able to eliminate Cousins, 92.45 would have been where it landed. We don't know where it's going to land now because Cousins is off the board. You've got to pick somebody else. I will say that I think mathematically there's nobody that you can kick off for the win, but you do get to take someone else off his team by virtue of Cousins not being eligible.
Now here comes the
I
nice
guess
guy.
Tyreek Hill.
All right, don't be nice.
Top rope, top rope,
Don't
man.
be nice.
Before
I
Alex
was going
makes
to go
his
all
choice,
Obama on us.
before
be nice.
Alex makes his choice, we're sitting at 119.35 with the Cousins double up. So again, you would need to eliminate approximately 24 points from his roster. I don't think he has anybody eligible at that price level. So basically, you can just choose at will. You're still going to take the L, but you can hit him where it hurts if you want.
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson by 0.01 going back
He's
into
now
the
in the waiver
pool.
wire.
Nice
Nice
guy strategy paid off. See, guys, that's what you be a nice guy
There
and
you
good things
go.
happen.
See, a nice guy, you get to keep your star receiver. That's what
And he's in
happens.
the waiver wire. And
And the last matchup, Jordan versus Eleo. Pay attention, get the popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to want this one. They both had some strategic sits. Eleo, right off the bat, has Swift available. He's got Everett available. He's got Bateman by 0.56. Jordan barely getting the win. Now, you two had also come up with an agreement. Is that right?
Yeah, we have a
What-
gentleman's agreement in place.
What was the agreement, Elio?
Well, it's funny because it happened actually like after the second half of the 1:00 slates, Jordan, I think if I'm not mistaken. And Jordan was up by a lot. I'm getting my behind kick, and I said, "Listen, dude, let's go ahead and mano a mano. We just won't drop each other's players, and whoever gets the dub gets the dub." And we both agreed on that. So we were just decided not to drop any players and just go straight up on the win.
So the score should pretty much stay the same, obviously, if nobody's getting dropped. So really nothing. I mean, Jordan's going to get the win. except we see Eleo's score go down. Jordan, what happened? Why did Eleo's score go down?
So this week, I did make a gentleman's agreement with Eleo, and today in the chat, I realized that I had misunderstood the assignment, and the points went hacking with the player. So unfortunately, I'm pulling out the knife, stabbing my man Eleo in the back. But
there we
Eleo,
go.
It's not all bad.
Oh, we're playing.
Bad.
There we go.
I'm only taking away Gerald Everett just to secure the victory.
Oh, that's a cold ass honky.
There it is. He did the math, decided that he is no kind of gentleman, drops the agreement and Everett off the roster. Nikki, is that a little better for you?
Yes.
I don't get
Is that what you wanted to see? A little blood in the water? Nikki's a shark. I tell you what. So after the adjustment, there we go, because what people didn't know, again, is that Eleo used his double up on Bateman. However, even with the double up, Bateman was still eligible to get kicked off. Bateman just didn't show up this week, so he does get the extra 6 points, but it's still not going to be enough because Eleo did, in fact, honor the gentleman's agreement. And despite the fact that Jordan had Hunt and Davis eligible to be kicked, he did not, and so that is the final score. Like I said, blood in the water, and that's what happens. Andrew, I see you with a big old smile on your face up there. You're loving this.
I am absolutely loving it, especially because it didn't happen to me. Sorry, Eleo. Oh, if it was up to me,
Captain Chaos, man. I got to break the chaos a little bit.
I'm going to tell you right now, man. I went ahead and completely misunderstood because I missed his first original deal. I would have blown him out the water, but my strategy backfired by sitting Hurst and even Eckler, thinking I was gonna do the same thing everybody was doing. But don't worry.
Whew.
Look at my team, man. I think I'm a little more stacked than you do.
So I just want to point out, I just want to point out the people like me and Adam and Patriot Sports, man, we needed this victory this week. So we pulled out all the stops. Nat, Eleo, all the ladies, Eleo and the ladies, all undefeated. Now all also have one loss. So I think we had a hell of a week.
I guess
evening the playing field, justifying his lack of honor by getting the win. Good job for you. Hey, Eleo, this is the second time that he's screwed you over. He stabbed you in the back with Everett. He stabbed you in the back by saying he was going to drop all his fab on Eckler, which you did.
That was a group stabbing, though. I was trying to stab everybody in the back that time.
So this time it was just Eleo, so it's okay.
Yeah, this time it was personal.
You know what, man? Hey, if that's the way you're gonna get a win, hey, more power to you. Look, I grew up in the streets, and I know how it is to survive. But one thing you don't know, man, what goes around comes around. Karma is not gonna say the word, and is not an Italian dude from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying?
I know nobody knows this, but when they came in, everybody was happy, and they were like, "Oh, how's it going, Eleo? What's going on?" Yeah, I didn't see the knife coming. Didn't see it. Murder mystery over here.
Brings us to this week's top score. I don't know if anybody was paying attention.
Nice.
If you ain't first, you're last. You know?
Andrew and Kate, 188.05. Team Ramrod. Say Team Ramrod.
Team Ramrod.
Say it.
Team Ramrod.
Team Ramrod.
Good.
You just like hearing
Congratulations to Team Ramrod for coming away with the victory. How are you guys feeling about that victory, guys?
Go ahead.
Feeling pretty good. We've been watching it all weekend, so we had a feeling that this might happen with our double up.
Yeah, you guys doubled up on Aaron Rodgers. We kind of skipped over it because you guys had already got the win, but that gets you the top spot. $30 fab dollars, one more league minimum bet, and the win, you get to pick the game breaker and see how you you guys are going to be responsible for screwing everybody over this week.
Sounds good.
Congratulations. So that will take us to the Fab Watch. Let's see how everybody's doing on the Fab dollars this week. Some people are doing all right. We got Team Chef Boyardee at 300. Alex very proud of his extra $1, giving him the advantage on the Fab roster. Globo Jim also sitting at 300 with Team Ramrod, our winners this week. True Serum Football just under with 270. Holding on to his 30 from the first week. And then we start getting into the 100s with everybody else. Adam probably, hurting, trying to pick up some people with only $5 Fab. And then, of course, Founding Fathers spent it all to build the team that got them the win this week. Founding Fathers, the Fab is gone, but you've got a mark in the win column. Worth it, or are we still kind of wishing we had some, especially after this week?
Yeah, this is a real at what cost situation. To put it in Trench's terms, this was our Bastogne. Like, we won, but at what cost?
True story. Adam, same deal. A lot of players in the water this week, but no Fab to use on them.
Well, I mean, I lost pretty much my entire team after week 1, so it kind of left me with no choice but to use up all my Fab, so it is what it is.
But at least we got the mark in the win column, so that's something.
That's play the win.
Yeah. Elio, where is your thing? $60, not much. Possibly.
Hey, don't worry about the $5, man. Everybody black True Serum. He's going after a running back. Spend all your money on a running back. Did not get this. Let this man pick up a running back. That's what he wants. All right, big studs. Spend your money on a running back. Forget that. I got $60 to beat him anyway, bro. I wipe my behind with that.
Jordan, how much money are you spending on a running back this week?
More than 270.
Again.
All of it, you said.
271. Let's go.
No, somebody go 271 on him, bro. All right, remember that. You got studs out there.
Nat, decent.
Actually,
you're middle of the road Fab. Nat, do you got some targets out there, or you just gonna kind of let it ride, being that with all the people that you've sat?
I actually really like my team, and I got some guys coming back off of injury, which is really what I've been waiting for. I'm also not, afraid of trading, although some of my contestants are, they're afraid of trading. So, but we'll see. If I like something, I'll go all in.
Team Ramrod, you guys get the high score, so obviously you're not doing so bad. Got some Fab. There's some big names out there. Are we going to spend a little money this week?
I think that's something we're going to have to discuss, and we've got our list of names who all got released. We're going to scrub the list, see what we can afford, and honestly, I think we're sitting pretty comfortably with what we have, but we could use an addition maybe here or there, so we'll see what happens.
Jason, I already know the answer to this question. You are targeting some people this week for sure. Am I wrong?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Definitely, I like to where my team's sitting right now because I just need just that one other piece, I think, will make it a complete team, although I'm sure at some point it'll get blown up, so who cares?
Alex, you got the most Fab by $1. You already had a super strong team. You can add another first-round draft pick again. Is it worth the money? Are we still spending Fab, or are we saving some for later?
Well, I don't have any wins, so all stops are out. JT or nothing.
There you go. How much you spending on JT?
Oh, 301.
There you go.
That's one that Jordan's not getting.
This is like when they announced the #1 pick 3 days before.
Roop, what would you do in this situation? If you're in the league, you live and die every week by all this stuff going down. You have purposely asked not to know what goes on until it drops.
If it was me, and I would check everybody's Fab out, see what players they need, but I would not really put all my money on the #1 guy, like JT or something. I would probably go for the middle rounder, put a little bit of decent money on there, and hope that my waiver is the right spot with the right amount, and just try to work my way back from there, because you don't know what's going to happen tonight and next week and the week after that. Your Fab could be gone, your player could be gone, and you just gotta go for the long haul. This isn't like week to week thing. It's not gonna work.
Yeah,
a win this week isn't gonna help you later on down the road.
And I think that is a big strategy.
Remember that, Jordan.
A big part of the strategy to consider is that even the guys sitting at $0 and $5 still have a shot at players based on the waiver order. If with everybody likely multiple bids on these high players, somebody's going to get them and they're going to drop to the back of the order. And so you could still end up pulling a big name with the $0 or $5 based on that. Chris, that's probably going to be you, right? Because Eric has to work in the morning. You were the one responsible for it. Are we staying? Are we pulling an all-nighter again, or are you going to cash in early and just wait to see what happens?
No, I mean, I'm going to have to set my alarm because we don't have any money. I'm going to have to see what's left over. If anything slips through the cracks like it did last time.
I'll meet you there.
We're going to be like that Labrador under the table. It's not even going to hit the floor.
It is that time, ladies and gentlemen, the time in the show that everybody kind of has been waiting for. It is GameBreaker time. Andrew and Kate, you are the big winners this week. You guys get to pick how it's going down. Where are we going?
Like old people.
Let's do like old people.
Like old people. Bench players can serve a purpose. Like old people, bench players can serve a purpose. Only your bench will count this week. And one secret starter who isn't a QB. This is how it's going down, ladies and gentlemen. You are going to set up your bench any way you want, but obviously you have limited positions there. Whoever is on your bench will count toward your score. Whoever's in your starting roster will not, except for one player that's not a quarterback. You will get to choose in secret which player that is. You'll let us know before the start of their game which player that will be, and we will tally up all those bench points and that one player and figure out who is going to win. You guys probably have no idea until next week. So choose wisely, because only the bench players count, and one secret player who isn't a quarterback. Let's see here. Let's go with David. Since the GameBreakers are treating you so well so far, how are you feeling about this GameBreaker?
I feel pretty good, actually, because I have an injured quarterback on my bench that'll fit perfectly in the quarterback slot. And use Joe Burrow down there. I like it, man.
Austin, how are you doing with this one, bud?
Sure, no problem. I got studs to fill my bench spot. It's whatever.
It's whatever. No big deal. Nikki, you're back. You said yourself you've been gone a couple weeks. Here you are. Now you know what's going down. How are you feeling about it?
I feel great.
Plain and simple. Gladys, you feel great?
We're not sharing any strategy.
Come on, Nikki. Be
Gladys,
nice
you are no longer allowed to speak.
I'm not nice, so I don't know who told you that.
My best players are always on the bench, so this is actually going to be great.
So Jason's just going to set his roster up like normal, and then he can come out with the win. Eleo, does this change your strategy for this week at all, concerning free agency, concerning the waiver wire and fab and all that?
I don't know. You looked at my bench? Bench is as good as most starting lineups here. And I picked up Trevor Lawrence last week, which gives me another quarterback stud. Listen,
there you go.
Hey, it's not going to happen again. No mercy.
Jordan, you have flipped Eleo's humanity switch. It is off. What are you thinking about this now?
Well, first of all, I just want to address the elephant in the room. Elio is only going to be able to avoid this charm for so long. I'll win him back over. But I'm feeling pretty good. My bench balled out this week. If I just started my bench, I would have been great. So let's do this.
Did you change his name from Lion Syrup, from Truth Syrup to Lion Syrup? Picking up username there.
Nick, how are you feeling about
$31
this
on every
GameBreaker?
quarterback in the waiver wire.
They're trying to pull one down to sit on his bench. Jason.
Yes, sir.
How's this GameBreaker feel out for you? You said the bench is good, but does it affect your strategy with the waiver wire? I know you have a big fab strategy with all that talent on the waiver wire right now. Does this change it at all?
Not at all. I mean, if I get somebody, they're going on my bench. Sounds good to me.
We lost Adam. Can you hear me? Adam, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Adam
I can
can't
hear
talk. He might be. Oh, there we go. How are you feeling about this game,
I hear
Adam?
you. I think it's going to be interesting. I think a lot of quarterbacks are going to get picked up, which could result in other solid players in free agency. So we'll see how that plays out.
Nat, do you see that happening as far as is that something that you're looking at? Do you see that happening somewhere else where people are going to go out and sacrifice players they have now to try and pick up big point players to put on their bench?
Yeah, I can see that happening. I'm not giving away what I'm doing. There's too many
I've got
alliances going on here.
I've got a quick question on rules.
Some shit. What is
Right.
it?
Hey, it's a reality competition, right?
That's right. Exactly.
I've got a quick question on the rules.
You're gonna call Gladys and Nikki then.
Yeah, ladies, let's band together.
Lauren,
We got you, Nat. We got you.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm friendly with everybody. All right, come on now.
Hey,
Here we
Mr.
go.
Fox, do we have to
Now
fill
the
out
trenches
a whole...
are finally wide open. Eric and Chris, I think you guys are the last ones. How are you feeling about this game breaker?
I feel like we kind of have an advantage having more shitty players on our roster than most people. There's all kinds of just fodder that we're willing to chuck for a Cooper Rush. So,
Number
I hope
one,
you guys
hey,
get
so
up
I got a
early
quick
as shit,
question.
because we are.
Hey, Chris, do we have to fill out
Same
a
question.
Do we have to fill out a roster?
You have to
I've
fill.
already
You have to
taken
fill
everybody
your
out of my
bench.
roster.
But we'll fill our bench, but
Like a starting.
The roster's not even a factor. So I mean,
So we can
being
just
that-
put whoever
being that
we
they
want, they're-
basically switched. So the bench and your starting lineup have switched. So
Fair
don't
enough.
worry about your starting lineup. You wouldn't worry about your bench. Being that your starting lineup is now your bench, you're not worried who's sitting up there. You're worried about who's
I
sitting
think
on the
he's
bench.
asking if you could just put your whole team on your bench.
On your bench, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, there's only so many slots. You've only
Like,
got
just take all your
starters.
starters out and put them all on the bench.
No,
I
what's
think-
happening is you can put you can drop all your players from your starting lineup to your bench, is what they're saying. So basically, everybody could just
I've
take their
already
whole
done
team,
that.
and it would be all of them together.
But you can't
Yeah, I
be
would
your
just
whole
make-
team because there's not
not enough
nine.
slots.
There's not nine spots on your bench. You have limited people. I expect the scores to be high. Don't get me wrong, but you're not going to be able to use everybody that you want to use this week because you don't have the spots on your bench.
So let's put a
Andrew and
number
Kate,
on
I digress. I don't think I've come to you yet on this one. You guys picked it. How are you feeling about it?
This one's not too bad. I feel pretty good about this one.
I think a little bit of strategy is going to go into it, but our rosters, we got players we're comfortable with. All we got to move them is from the top to the bottom.
We leave
Ladies
open
and
spots
gentlemen.
in the starting lineup if you don't have enough players. Like you leave a kicker.
again, Elio?
Can you leave open spots in the starting lineup? Like, not start a,
Yeah, remember, starting lineup is your bench, so it doesn't matter what's in your starting lineup. If there's nobody in your starting lineup, it's not going to matter because your bench is where your points are coming from. Except that one player. You got that one secret player that nobody's going to know about except you and me. That you'll be able to play from that starting roster.
one
We
secret
do
player
have
will
to
get
have
points.
It filled then.
I mean, you can just bench all your starters and they're all on the bench.
There's one player you set from your starting lineup that we're going to tell you, and those points are going to count towards the week, right?
Correct. So everybody on your bench will count, and then you will have one player sitting up there in that starting lineup that's not a quarterback, and you will let me know who that is before the game starts. And that player's points will also count.
Am I the only
So
person on Mountain Time for waiver wire? I'm the only
Say
person on
again?
Mountain. Am I the only person on Mountain Time?
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, you
waiver
get-
wire.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, there it is. The trenches. We've seen backstabbing. We've seen hugs and kisses. And we've seen some good hoofs to the crotch as well. That's how it goes in the trenches. Nothing happens the way you think it's going to, these guys, almost every single one of these players have said it in the last 3 weeks already. You never know what's going to happen in the trenches. Come back next week. We'll be live right here Tuesday night, 6:45. Tell your friends, because you've never seen a competition go down like this. 12 teams, one $5,000 prize. One of these teams are going to win it. Who do you think is going to be? I sure as heck don't know. Join us next week for the trenches. We'll see you then.
Jordan.
I'm going to win.